You're listening to The Moose and the Loose, your 10 minutes action-packed financial podcast with your host, Mike Yahoo. Hey, what's up, Market Moose? This is Mike from The Moose on the Loose. I hope you are doing well today. Before we start the podcast, I have to tell you that I forgot a very important point yesterday when I did my review of BCE and TELUS earnings. I was so focused on tables and the cash flows and all the operating metrics that are important for the future that I forgot to mention. And I was like looking into my notes once I published the podcast, and I thought, I completely forgot to tell you that TELUS increased its dividend by 3.5%. That was expected. That's like aligned with all the other years. It increases its dividend twice a year as opposed to BCE or like a lot of other companies that usually increase it only once a year. So TELUS offered a 3.5 increase, likely going to have another 3-point-something% at the end of the year, just to bring it another 7% increase for the year. That has been the motto over the past couple of years. So just having this quick thought in mind. So it was not an increase of 7% if you read through the press release very quickly, this is the impression you have because it's 7% versus last year, but it's really a biannual dividend increase of like 3-point-something% every single time. So, right. So now let's go on with Business Friday. Today, I want to talk about motivation. Motivation because this morning, I just completed my best run of the year so far. So I run like 4 times a week, pretty much like in all conditions. So whenever it's like minus 30 or if it's raining or if it's like windy, I still go out for my run. And this morning was my like best time by far for a long time. And that kept up where I continued to use a small Google spreadsheet that I can have access to my computer, to my phone, like everywhere where I track my calories. And I didn't go crazy on that, which is great. So I do like rough averages on everything I eat. And then I add also my run because obviously I burn a little bit more calories on that. And I've been doing that since March. I told you about that trick already. It's convenient. It's easy. It's fast. I can do it wherever I want, and it keeps my target always in mind. So that helped me to make better choices from time to time. So I don't go crazy. I allow myself to keep having like nice weekends with a nice bottle of wine and like a definitely larger supper than I should have. But throughout the week, I'm making better choices, or sometimes I just like when I have like the opportunity to have like a second serving, I think twice because I know that I have to increase the calories in my spreadsheet, and it works a lot. So what is great here is I've been able to find a way to improve myself, and now I can reap some rewards. And I think that when you want to find that level of motivation to do things, to wake up in the morning, to do the extra grind, regardless if it's for your health or if it's to get a promotion or to build your business, you need to find some drivers to do that extra grind. You know, I was listening to the podcast by Alex Armozy this morning, and he was telling that like people that reach like great things, they don't only like work more and do more preparation. It's like not twice or 3 times, it's 100 times more than the usual person. And this is where the key, you need to find the motivation to do that. So to do that, I had like 3 tricks that I keep using on a daily basis for pretty much everything. So the first one is having fun. If you don't have fun in life, well, life is boring. And when it's boring, you don't feel like making an effort, right? So just for fun, really, literally, I change the notification sound for this little girl in the Minions saying, "She's so fluffy," all the time. So, and then, yeah, so... And now you clearly heard my dogs going crazy when I make that sound. But anyway, my phone now makes that sound every single time I get a subscription payment. So it makes it fun, and it makes me like realize that this business is working even though I'm not always working, and it's keeps on working 24/7. So whenever throughout the day, the phone starts like making that sound and telling me that something is fluffy around here, I just make a smile. I'll just smile, and then my children, like, they know about that, so they smile too. And then sometimes they're just telling me that I'm like definitely not doing the right things and that I'm a bit crazy on the sides. But you know what? The key point here is to look at life as a big game, and when you don't like the game, well, you change the rules, and that's as easy as it goes. The other thing that I use to drive my motivation is I always remind myself why I'm doing this. So why am I waking up at 5 in the morning, going down to my basement and start lifting weight, and after that going for my run? I need to have like a real purpose, right? A real goal. Because if I just do that to be in shape, that's not enough. So you need to dig a little bit deeper, and you need to remind yourself why you're doing all of this. Like, why am I grinding on my business? Because I want to have that flexibility. I want to be able to offer like great experiences to my children, to my wife. This weekend, I'm going with my two sons to see Lionel Messi playing against the CF Montreal, and those kind of things. I can do that because I grind, because I have that motivation. But when I'll get to the stadium tomorrow, I will just remind myself of how hard I worked throughout that week and how I deserved to be there and to live that magical moment with my two sons. We are like three big soccer fans, so it's going to be like an amazing evening, but it cannot, like, that evening has a price, even though it's the memories, even though it's the experience and it's the bonding to be with your children. You have to put a dollar sign on that. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in. So when you remember why you do things and then you appreciate those rewards, that makes it a lot easier to come back and grind on the next Monday morning. And that leads me to my third trick is never forget to reward yourself. Like, keep on rewarding yourself. I don't know, like, I know that my brain works that way. I need that rush of dopamine. So it sometimes is like very small, but I need those rewards. When I hear my phone like screaming that something is fluffy, like that is not only making me smile, but I get that reward. It's just always to wire your brain to get as many rewards as possible, small ones, just the small ones, just to make sure that you keep on going and that you can feed that brain to wants to do more, to do the extra mile, to do a little bit more effort, and to think outside the box to reach your goals. So that was it for today. Listen for the motivation, have fun, remember why you're doing it, and then focus on the rewards, making sure that there's rewards on your path. This is how I manage my health, my personal life, and also my business. And so far, I've been doing quite well. I just enjoy what I do instead of like saying, "Oh, I'm tired. It is tough. I mean, like that was a crazy week, and I'm a bit discouraged." Like, I focus on the positive stuff. I'm like, "Hey, I had fun. I had like this week. I had the opportunity to have a coffee with a DSR member. That was like so much fun. And then we laughed and we talked about stocks, and that was great, you know? So instead of like thinking about all the hard work I did, I think about the reward I'm going to get tomorrow. I'm thinking about my phone making weird sounds and making everybody like squint and say like, what is going on here, Mike? And then I remember myself why I'll do all of those things. And it keeps me like fully driven every single day. So, right, Moose, take good care. Have a good weekend. Enjoy life. And we're going to talk again on Monday. I'm going to try to look at what's going on with Canadian Tire, because yesterday it went up by 6% on earnings day, but I didn't have the time to review the earnings yet. So I'm going to look at that during the weekend, and definitely, maybe not next Monday, but I'm definitely going to talk about Canadian Tire because it's a great company to know the pulse of the economy and how Canadians are spending. So I'm really curious to know why the stock went up. I guess the results were not as bad as expected. I don't expect them to be great, but I have no clue at this point. So we're going to talk about that on next week, not on Monday. I don't want to make any promises. So, right, Moose, take good care, and we're going to talk again next week. So until then, don't forget to stay invested. Hey, welcome to the disclaimer. If you're listening to The Moose and the Loose, you cannot really expect me to give you buy or sell recommendation or financial advice, right?
You're here for fun, you're here for information, and some entertainment. But I am not your financial advisor, I am not your broker, so therefore I'm not liable if you're losing money after listening to the podcast. If you're looking for some advice, go see a professional. If not, you can enjoy the show and do your due diligence after it.